The screaming started before the sun even dipped behind the trees. Maya gripped the straps of her backpack as she hurried down the sidewalk, her heart pounding like it wanted to escape her chest. Beside her, her younger sister Aisha walked with her head down, eyes fixed on the pavement. They didn't have to look up to know the boys were closing in again. Their laughter carried across the empty street. Sharp, mocking, hungry. "Where do you think you're going?" one of them shouted. Maya quickened her pace, pulling Aisha closer. Every day it was the same. The boys from the nearby neighborhood waited for them after school, following them for blocks. Sometimes they pulled at their scarves. Sometimes they tried to snatch their bags. Sometimes they just whispered things that no girl their age should ever have to hear. But today felt worse. Today, the boys were angry, furious even. Maybe some teacher yelled at them. Maybe they were bored. Maybe cruelty was simply their favorite sport. Whatever it was, Maya knew the moment she heard their footsteps quicken. This wasn't going to be like the other days. Aisha tripped over her own shoes as she tried to run. One of the boys grabbed her backpack and yanked her backwards so hard she fell on the ground. "Stop!" Maya screamed, pushing him away. But the boys only grinned. "Make us." Maya stood there shaking, not from fear anymore, but from something deeper, something heavier, something that comes from being hurt too many times. She wanted to run. She wanted to fight. She wanted to scream for help, but no one ever came. No one ever cared, at least. That's what she thought, because the rumbling started before she could even respond. A low, thunderous vibration beneath the ground. The kind that made the street tremble. The kind that made the boys pause. The kind that made everyone look up. Motorcycles, 7 of them, turned onto the street in a perfect formation. Their engines growled like beasts. Their headlights cut through the fading sunlight. Leather jackets, patches, boots, tattoos. The kind of men everyone crossed the street to avoid. The Iron Wolves Motorcycle Club. People whispered about them. People feared them. People said they were rough, reckless, dangerous. But no one ever mentioned that they had saved more people in this town than any police patrol ever did. And today, they had arrived at exactly the right moment. The lead rider pulled off his helmet. A tall man with a silver beard and kind, but piercing, eyes stepped off his bike. His name was Reaper, the club president. The kind of man whose presence alone filled the entire street. He looked at the frightened sisters on the ground. Then he looked at the boys. "What's going on here?" Reaper asked, voice calm but edged with steel. The boys tried to act tough. "This isn't your business, old man." Reaper stepped forward, his boots heavy on the pavement. "Kid," he said slowly, "everything on my street becomes my business." The boys didn't understand the danger until the rest of the riders removed their helmets too. Muscular, tattooed, scarred. These were not men looking to negotiate. They stood in a silent line behind Maya and Aisha, like a wall made of pure intimidation. Still, the bullies tried to bluff. "You can't touch us. We weren't doing anything." One of the bikers, a woman named Blaze, crouched beside the crying Aisha. She gently helped her up, brushing dirt off her knees. "You okay, sweetheart?" she asked. Aisha nodded weakly, still shaking up. Blaze's eyes turned to fire as she stood. "They laid hands on her," she said. "That's enough for me." The boys panicked. "We didn't mean it. We were joking. We didn't." "No," Reaper interrupted. "You weren't joking. You were hurting people smaller than you. And that," he stepped closer, "is something cowards do." The boys stumbled backward, tripping over themselves as they ran down the street. They didn't get far. The bikers didn't chase them, not physically. They didn't need to. Sometimes fear is enough to deliver a message that lasts a lifetime. The bullying hadn't started randomly. It had been growing for months. Challenge 1. Isolation. No one believed the girls. Teachers dismissed it as kids misbehaving. Friends drifted away out of fear. Even neighbors ignored their cries. Challenge 2. Walking the dangerous route. Their home was far from school. They had to walk through a nearly empty industrial street every day. Perfect for bullies. Perfect for hiding harassment. Challenge 3. Emotional damage. Fear became part of their routine. They walked fast. They tightly held their bags. They cried silently at night. Their grades dropped. Their confidence shattered. Challenge 4. Escalation. When the boys realized no one was stopping them, they got bolder, rougher, crueler. All of this built up to the day the bikers found them, by fate or by miracle. The bullying hadn't started randomly. It had been growing for months. Challenge 1. Isolation no one believed the girls. Teachers dismissed it as kids misbehaving. Friends drifted away out of fear. Even neighbors ignored their cries. Challenge 2. Walking the dangerous route their home was far from school. They had to walk through a nearly empty industrial street every day. Perfect for bullies. Perfect for hiding harassment. Challenge 3. Emotional damage fear became part of their routine. They walked fast. They tightly held their bags. They cried silently at night. Their grades dropped. Their confidence shattered. Challenge 4. Escalation when the boys realized no one was stopping them. They got bolder, rougher, crueler. All of this built up to the day the bikers found them, by fate or by miracle. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is walking anyway. And sometimes, courage is choosing to protect someone who isn't strong enough yet. The world needs more people who ride beside others, whether on motorcycles or simply with kindness. A call to action for your vow. If this story touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us what part inspired you the most, or if you've ever seen someone stand up for the innocent. And don't forget to support the channel. Red heart, subscribe to be kind, always thumbs up, like the video bell, turn on notifications. Let's spread stories of courage, kindness, and strength. Together, we can make this world gentler, one act of kindness at a time.